Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Salary adjustments will generate greater interest in political fields, stated Holness. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says with the salary adjustments announced for the political directorate under the new public sector compensation regime, there will be greater interest in political field. Everyone who is occupying a political office ought to be thinking very carefully that I need to increase my political performance because there are many young people out there now who have started to look at entering the political field with higher educational qualifications, higher skill level, and higher competency, he said. The Prime Minister was speaking at the first tribute ceremony to mark the 100th anniversary of the late former Prime Minister Hugh Lawson, birth on May 18 at National Heroes Park in Kingston. You are going to see as a result of this increase an improvement in the level of entrance coming into the political field. You are also going to be seeing an improvement in the existing occupants of the post because they have to now step up their game, Holness stated. Holness reiterated the government stands that the adjustments are necessary to attract and retain talent. We continue to lose the potential that this country produces every year because the wage level is low. This administration recognizes that, and we have taken a decision to increase by over 100 billion the wage bill, and everybody is lifted, Holness noted. He said that Cabinet organized over how to conduct the compensation review. It is not yesterday that the country, including those who are critical, have been calling for a compensation review. We know and respect the sensitivities of our salary, Holness stated. We sat in Cabinet, we organized whether or not we should even take an increase. We organized over it. It's not something that we took lightly because we know that there are persons who will try to make political fodder over it, he said. Meanwhile, Holness emphasized that there is need for a new parliament building. We need a new parliament building. A country like Jamaica, we don't have a parliament that we can all be proud of. If you try to build one, you are going to hear, well, you could have used the money to build primary schools. Ignore the importance of ensuring that the core engine of your government can work efficiently. It is through that you get greater deliberation and policies, you get greater oversight of policies, and you get greater effectiveness, Holness stated. Holness said his administration has taken on several national changing activities. We have taken on crime, massive investment in the police force. We are so proud of the Jamaica Constabulary Force to see what they are doing and the transformation that is happening. We are taking on education, we are taking on order in public spaces, and we are taking on constitutional reform, the Prime Minister added. Police to monitor demonstration over parliamentarian salary hike. The St. Andrews Central Police have indicated that they are aware of and will monitor a peaceful protest planned for Friday, sparked by a massive salary hike for the political directorate. The protest is set to get underway at 8 a.m. at Emancipation Park in New Kingston. The organizers of the protest are unknown, but the salary issue, since the announcement by Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark on Tuesday, has become a major talking point in the Jamaican society. A flyer, which was blasted on popular social media sites, was used to promote the protests. One seen by reporters noted that the move to voice disapproval under the topic, the outrageous salary increases for parliamentarians. Commander for the St. Andrews Central Police Division, Senior Superintendent Marlon Nesbitt told reporters that the police also have information suggesting that a protest will take place. Nesbitt said no request had been made for a permit and that none is required for a protest. You don't need to apply for permission for a protest. If it's a march, you have to apply for it because you cannot march without permission, Nesbitt stated. The divisional commander, however, warned against the use of loud music and said protesters must assemble peacefully. The flyer in circulation bears the word, "While our people suffer, why no accountability and 28 million?" There has been huge public outrage since announcement from Dr. Nigel Clark. Some public sector groups such as teachers and the police, who were involved in bitter salary negotiations with the government, have publicly stated that they cannot guarantee normalcy if issues surrounding the salary reclassification are not addressed forthwith. Major private sector groups such as the Jamaica Manufacturers Association and the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, along with several church groups, have also condemned the move by the government to increase salaries for politicians by over 200%. Bogue Village double murder was a reprisal attack. The police have theorized that reprisal was behind Wednesday night's gun attack at a shop in Bogue Village in St. James, which left 2 men dead and 2 other nursing gunshot wounds. The deceased have been identified as 30-year-old Jermaine Miller, Marine Circle in Bogue Village, and a man known only as Stallman, who is of dark complexion, medium build, and about 5 feet 10 inches tall. His body was clad in a yellow t-shirt and blue short jeans. Reports from the Montego Bay Police are that about 9:45 p.m., the men were among patrons at a shop when armed men approached and opened gunfire, hitting them. The police were summoned, and the injured men were taken to hospital where Miller and Tallman were pronounced dead, while the others were treated for injuries. Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang revealed that the police are following strong leads in the deadly attack. The police have good information and good intelligence and should be able to apprehend the perpetrators rapidly, the Security Minister stated. He was speaking to reporters on Thursday during a tour of water systems in the St. James Northwestern constituency with Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Senator Matty Samuda. Prime Minister Andrew Holness declared a state of emergency in the parishes of Clarendon, St. James and Hanover on Tuesday. Reliability of CSEC math exam called into question amid reports of leak. The president of the Jamaica Association of Principals of Secondary School, Linford Wright, says the reliability of the CSEC math exam paper 2, sat across the region on Wednesday, has been called into question following reports of a leak of the test. Mr. Wright says the association and other stakeholders are concerned about the repercussions for students. CXC has said it is doing its investigations, and we would like to wait what CSEC does to see how they are going to remedy the situation. But certainly, we hope to have an input whenever the CSEC investigations are being done, so we expect to be consulted, he said. CSEC has said it will make a definite statement once the investigation is completed. Commenting on the issue with Barbados, President of the Barbados Secondary Teachers Union, Mary Redman, said the possible leak was serious and brings into question the efficacy of Caribbean Examination Council security measures. Ms. Redman said teachers and students have worked hard to prepare for the exams, and setbacks like these prove stressful to all concerns. Contending that this is not the first time such an incident has happened, the union leader said costs incurred in addressing breaches of this nature are not only financial. She said more efficient system must be put in place to prevent such occurrences. Jerk chicken vendor denied bail on robbery gun charges. A jerk chicken vendor who is facing robbery charges for an incident in St. Elizabeth last month was denied bail when he appeared in the parish court on Wednesday. Sean Reid, also known as Romario Shaw, of Newport in Manchester, is scheduled to return to court on June 9. He is charged with robbery with aggravation, possession of an illegal weapon, and using an illegal weapon to commit a felony. It's reported that on April 6, Reid and 3 accomplices robbed a supermarket supervisor of his licensed firearm. They then attempted to gain access to a Western Union outlet inside the supermarket, but were unsuccessful. Reid was arrested after he turned up at hospital with a bullet wound to the foot. He was later positively identified. In court Wednesday, it was disclosed that at the time of the St. Elizabeth robbery, Reid was on bail for robbery and firearm charges in Manchester. He is scheduled to appear in the Manchester Circuit Court on May 25th in relation to those charges. Alleged Manchester robbers again remanded. 5 men, including a former member of the Jamaica Defence Force, who were charged with breaking and entering, were remanded in custody when they appeared before the Manchester Parish Court on Thursday. The accused are Hugh Foster, Romain Simmet, Odian Forbes, Elvis McIntosh, and Corey Simpson, all of Manchester addresses. A 6th-man, Kiwain Foster, who was not present in court on Thursday. His reason for being absent was not disclosed. According to prosecutors, the antecedent report in the case remained outstanding, but should be completed in 2 weeks. The men are expected to return to court on June 7. They are charged in relation to an April 15 break-in at a bar in Butthop Square in Colville, Manchester, Christiana District. The men were denied bail at their last court hearing after the court was told that at least 2 of them had other matters before the court, and the others have been wanted for previous incidents of break-ins and robberies. The prosecutor also stated that the police reported that since the men have been in custody, there have been no reports of break-ins in the area. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and